Namaskar everyone. My name is Gaurav Singh. I am a research scholar in NIT Durgapur and currently I am holding the position of Director of Programs, American Academy of Yoga and Meditation. I welcome all our viewers from India as well as USA to our live webinar session on Restore Ganga, Restore Our Earth on the occasion of Earth Day, that is on 22nd April 2021. AYM is a non-profit organization of physicians, researchers, medical professionals, and practitioners of yoga and meditations. The organization is dedicated to education and research in the field of yoga and meditation by fostering an interdisciplinary approach of linking science, arts, ethics, and spiritualism to improve the way of human life. While AAYM focuses on medical research work, it holds the Ganges Mississippi Dialogue, a series of talks with eminent scientists, thinkers, earth movers, and intellectuals concentrating on the development of three key areas: one, health; two, education; and last, poverty elimination, to enrich the lives of both civilization as well as the entire humanity as a whole. The topic of today's webinar is Restore Ganga, Restore Earth. On the earth, the Ganges or Ganga originates from the Gangotri glacier within the central Himalayas located in the Uttarakhand state, India. To Hindus, Ganga isn't merely a river, she is a goddess, our mother. According to the Purans, the sight, the name, and also the touch of Ganga can remove all sins. Ganga has been considered as a sacred river since the Vedic age. Though the primary Ved, the Rig Ved, scarcely mentioned Ganga and regarded Saraswati and Indus as the holiest of all rivers, but the later three Veds, the Yajurved, the Samaved, and the Atharved, heavily mention Ganga as a sacred river. As per Hindu thoughts, bathing within the river on special occasions causes remission of sins and facilitates the attainment of salvation. It is considered that Ganga bestows blessing of the highest order. Now the question arises, why Ganga is important for the entire planet. The reason behind this is that it provides water to 40% of the India's population. The Ganga is also considered as a lifeline of India. Additionally, it is a source of irrigation for a wide variety of crops. The Ganges basin has fertile soil that largely influences the agriculture economic of India and its neighboring country of Bangladesh. River Ganga also supports fishing industry, making it an agriculture and professional necessity for the livelihood of Indians and Bangladesh people. However, Ganga of today is not the pure Ganga anymore. The divinity in Ganga has been polluted by samples of carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxides, and many other such compounds. All the sewage from cities, households, factories are emitted in the Ganga, littering it every second. Massive cleanup projects like Ganga Action Plan 1 and 2 have came into action earlier, but the results are still very minimal. Recently, Indian government under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji launched a project under the banner Namami Gange with a fund allocation of 20,000 crores. But there are a lot to be done to meet the desired result of bringing Ganga up to its primitive stage. We need to rise up in action and step ahead, doing our bit for the concern before it's too late. All because Ganga still remains as the symbol of India's civilization. The Ganga, a sign of India's heritage, worshipped by her people, amidst her memories, her hopes, her fears, her songs of triumph, she has been a part of India's culture and civilization, ever changing, ever flowing, and yet the ever same Ganga. Now, without further ado, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce to you our guest for this evening, Swami Vivekananda ji. He is the convener of International Vedanta Society. Puja Swami Chidanand Saraswati ji. He is the president and spiritual head of Paramath Niketan Ashram, Rishikesh, India. Dr. Supradev Roy. He is a former visiting scientist at Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. And Sri Rahul Chaudhury. He is the national media convener of Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, as well as he is the national secretary of Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi. So for I would like to ask Swami Vaskaranand ji for his what is his thoughts on what are the Vedic scriptures, what Vedic scriptures tells about the importance of river Ganga. Before that, I would like to give a brief introduction of Swami Vaskaranand ji. Swami Vaskaranand ji is the convener of International Vedanta Society. He joined this organization in the year 1989 under the Divine Association of Sri Bhagwan, who is the founder of the society. Since then, he has been busy in propagating Vedanta philosophy to the common masses, especially amongst youths. He embraced monastic life in the year 1998 after resigning from the service. He has been entrusted some projects of making ashrams building in different places which he is executed successfully. Recently, due to Corona, he is taking online Vedantic classes in different platforms. Aspirants are getting benefits after hearing his Vedantic classes. At present, he resides in Guwahati, capital of Assam, the biggest city in Northeast India. Swamiji,
Yes.
kindly.
Okay. Can I start? No?
Yes, yes, kindly you start.
Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you. Distinguished speaker of the panel and Reverend Manaj, my pronouns to you and my dear friends. At the very outset, I, on behalf of International Vedanta Society, would like to give you heartfelt thanks and gratitude for inviting me as a speaker. I am honored to be here with you, where we discuss an important issue named Restore Ganga and Restore Earth. The issue regarding River Ganga, also known as Mother Ganga. As we know that Ganga is our country's life force and foundation of our economic and agricultural growth. The entire Indian civilization sustained benefits of our reap benefits of our centuries and still depend on the river for our sustenance. But it is very painful to admit you that she is under threat. She is shackled. She is tethered, not by chain. By whom? It is her innumerable children that have held her hostage. So she is shackled by yes, by ignorance, by abusive behavior of affluent industries. Also, irresponsible acts of general population. We have forgotten her divine stature in the past century, overuse of Ganga water, irresponsible dumping, and lack of regulations and awareness have highly polluted the water. There is a funny parable. It goes like this. Once a baby fish in the water asked his mother, Mummy, what happened to me? I'm not able to swim properly nowadays, feeling difficult to breathe properly. Mummy, one more thing. Sometimes when I swim in the surface of the water, I heard some noise in the banks. Who are they? To create unnecessary noise, mother fish replied to her baby fish. Beta, it's a very nice statement. Beta, we are fish, live in the water, and they are selfish, live in the land. So they are creating all mess there, and by their nuisance, we are all affected here. Though it does not mean for all, there are few members, or some people who did the disturbance. Now, as we discussed about River Ganga. But all rivers are special. All rivers are important. Since the every civilization have settled and flourished by life nourishing river. But the river Ganga stands apart. She is so special, so sacred, considered holy, and revered by everyone. People gather every 4 years to pay homage and pray to her. And the gatherings is so large, so huge. It can be visible even from the space. We know this event is Kumbh Mela, which is the highest religious festival in the world. It is very fascinating to know that the river Ganges sustains one-sixth of the human populations in our watershed. Though the whole region has thrived by the fertile soil deposits and the fresh water provides in our journey from Gomukh to Bengal. Therefore, it's about time we are we put our all resources and make sincere efforts to restore her health and reverse status of Mother Ganga. Now, there is a common questions, also matter of wonder, which people asked from generation that why water of Ganga is so pure, how and when it is stored in a container, it remains the same and does not turn foul after analyzing it scientifically. The empirical evidence which showed some incredible results. In my speech, I want to describe scientific analysis as also as well as its spiritual values. So now we talk about scientific analysis. We know we might have heard about a word alchemy, which is a process to create vapor from water and again cool it to make water, to make it a normal water to again cool it to make again distilled water. If this process conducted by 1,000 times, then the water is not a normal water anymore. It develops some extraordinary properties. From where these properties evolves, it is still unknown to science. But there is no doubt that qualitative change take place in the water. River Ganga exhibits that quality. One more point I want to bring your attention, which about human evolutions. Percentage of salt in human body is equivalent to percentage of salt in sea water. So there is the assumption that human have originated from ocean itself, and which reflects the same in our mythology. In our 10 incarnation list, the first one is Matsya Avatar. And if you see the sequence, first Matsya Avatar, then Kurma Avatar, which means tortoise, Varaha Avatar, which is pig, then comes to Bamun Avatar, I think so, and after that Narasimha. It completes just human being. Narasimha is a combination of animal and human, and after that Parshuram Avatar. So it gradually evolves. So evolution also already the fact of evolutions also in our Vedic culture. So next, if you do not, I'm thinking it's if you do not eat sufficient, enough salt, the salt content within body diminishes, thus distorting the pH balance. The, the change of pH balance leads to our change in our consciousness. If we drink water of Ganga, which has been distilled 1,000 times, it brings some changes in your thought patterns. Maybe for these reasons, although we do unknowingly, we drink Ganges water so that it may cause a positive change in our consciousness. These properties make water of Ganga different from special compared to other rivers, flowing from the same mountain and collecting same rainwater. It's very amazing fact. It's also worth mentioning that some research was conducted by the Western scientists that revealed the secrecy of Ganga being sacred. It is said if Ganga water is mixed with other water, the entire water will be free from impurities and germs.
वो माइक ठीक
In
है
1896,
दूर है ठीक है घुमा घुमा के गोल गोल कर दिया देखने में आप
is
ठीक
there
है
any problem? Shall I continue? In 1896, a British scientist, Henry Hankin, did a research. Thereby, he took two containers of water that contained some dreaded disease, dreaded bacteria of cholera and malaria. Then he fixed some amount of water, only one of the containers. He observed after 3 hours that container in which he had mixed Ganga water, all bacteria got killed. The other container not only remained impure, but also the population of bacteria increased. Another interesting research done by a French scientist, Phillips, which he kept a dead body 6 feet below the surface of the Ganga River. The dead body had suffered from cholera and dysentery. He was astounded after investigating that no bacteria was found just besides the dead body. Normally, myriads of bacteria should have been present in and around. But as the dead body affected by dreaded disease, so this corroborates the traditional belief about Ganga River. That is why it is considered sacred and pure. It is also investigated that normally human bones do not decompose in water, but it is diluted in the river Ganga. Maybe for this cause, in the last rites, Pindodan is being performed and the bones are put in the Ganga water. So now thing is that we know about the impurities of the Ganga, about the secret of the Ganga. Now, what factor? Now we are finding what factor that makes Ganga water so pure. It's very important. Scientists reveal that there is bacteria named bacteriophage, which is so powerful that it not only eats other bacteria, but it also grows in multiple ways. The presence of bacteria in the water gives water its purity, hence it is considered holy. Now we are coming to practical side. There are two important Hindi words uttered by particularly those are working in the river protection project. These are Nirmalta and Avirilta. Nirmalta means free from impurities, trash, germs, any pollutants that causing impurities. And Avirilta means uninterrupted flow. So to expedite the flow of river Ganga, we need to remove all debris, all trash, dross, stop dumping waste in it and endangering the living beings in the ecosystem. The aviral flow of water reminds us that flow of life should be also uninterrupted. and fluid. Now, how can we achieve avidalta in our lives? Actually, we are the user, so we have to remove ourselves. We have to remove all impurities within ourselves. So we are accustomed to remaining in the comfortable zone. Now, question is that what does comfortable zone means? The nature of a man is that they feel comfortable to be in their established thought patterns. Remaining in the same patterns strengthen the groups, and adopting new thoughts or idea requires strong resolve, commitment, and determinations. Change is not easy. It requires taking risks and willingness to, to embrace the unknown and face challenges. So it's a lot easier to follow established pattern and treat the unknown territory. So although being in the comfortable zone brings us happiness, but it's not lasting since it's neither dynamic nor evolving. Just like the river, when the flow of river water is interrupted, it gets stuck in the near the banks, becomes dirtier and polluted than the water which remains in the natural flow. The water which flows in the midst of the river, you see the it's so pure. So so similarly in the comfort zone may appear pleasant in the beginning, but it is like the river water stuck near the banks. True life manifest when we are in the natural flow, ready to embrace flow, new notions, new ideas, which leads to growth and takes us infinite. It is said that religion is a journey from brute man to Buddha man. Avidalta is required in our life can be have can be achieved by removing all debris collected and stored over several births, several lifetimes. So impurities of Ganga and the self must be removed by pure knowledge. When purified knowledge evolves, we feel elated due to spiritual practices. Then our whole nation will be meaningful and result oriented. Whole action will be meaningful and result oriented. To be more precise, elected soul does not require any instruction what to do, what not to do. For them, it comes naturally. It becomes their nature. The soul establishes its own nature. So it comes automatic. Swami Vivekananda said, ignorance is the mother of the evil. And the misery we see, let man be pure, spiritually strong and educated, then alone in the misery will cease in the world. So all the kinds of miseries arise due to our ignorance, and the ignorance is of our mind. My Guru Maharaj, Sri Bhagavan, who is the founder of International Vedanta Society, said something beautiful, which is very relevant to our present problem. He said, mind pollution is the root cause of every pollution. Environment never gets polluted by itself. River never gets polluted by herself. Similarly, sound, air, water, etc. also does not polluted by themselves. It is only our mind that gets polluted by lower and self-centered thoughts, and thus propelled by the self-centered nature, the degraded nature, we are polluting the river, air, sound, and entire environment around us. So actually, mind is a cluster of thoughts, and the cluster of thoughts are now degraded by haze of thoughts. So if we can able to upgrade the minds by imparting sublime thoughts, it can be possible by creating an ambience, spiritual ambience, favorable ambience, so that perfection within us can manifest. So, so it is right time. And also, he also said, my guru also said that nature also provides enough resources. If we stop misuse, preservation can be possible. First, we have to misuse. We have to stop the misuse. Then there will be enough for all us. So knowledge is very essential. It's playing a key role. Spiritual knowledge. And Swamiji also said, Vivekananda also said, spiritual knowledge is within us. We have to manifest. We have to manifest it. Its soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity. So knowledge of our own divine nature and divinity of all beings that exist put to an end of our self-centered behavior by destroying the root cause, the ignorance. We have a we have a verse said by Sri Krishna, which means nahi gyanano sadrishya pavitra mihang vidyate, which means there is nothing as purifying as knowledge. Only spiritual awareness can annihilate all kinds of ignorance. We believe there is a tremendous possibility in every human being. One just needs an optimal environment so that divinity can manifest. Like Ratnakar, who was a dacoit, once looting people, became Valmiki under the influence of Sech Narada. Here is a subtle point to be mentioned. Even where well engaged in looting and robbery, quality of Ratnakar, quality of Valmiki or Valmiki hood was always within Ratnakar's mind. It was not borrowed from outside from others. It was in him in a dormant state. With the association of divine personality, Ratnakar transformed to Valmiki. His unethical activities also transformed by constructing activity. So, before concluding, I want to summarize. First and foremost, we have huge spiritual tradition and its profound teachings. And the second, we found after investigating the population of Ganga River that despite her extraordinary qualities, we failed by not taking proper care. Despite its possessing property of its water remaining fresh, we have done extreme damage. The Ganga and made the Ganga water foul. So now we should we should all shoulder the responsibility of fixing it. It's high time to implement these teachings to lessen the future pollution while working to remove the current debris or next generation would not forgive us. Thank you all. Jai Bhagwan.
Our next speaker will be Pujya Swami Chidanand Saraswati ji. I would like to give introduction of Pujya Swami Chidanand Saraswati ji. Swamiji is president and spiritual head of Parmarth Niketan Ashram, Rishikesh, India. Parmarth Niketan Ashram is one of the largest interfaith spiritual institution in India. Under his divine inspiration and leadership, Parmarth Niketan has become a sanctuary known across the globe as one filled with grace, beauty, serenity, and true divine bliss. Pujya Swamiji has also increased several fold the humanitarian activities undertaken by Parmarth Niketan. Now the ashram is not only a spiritual heaven for those who visit, but it also provides education, training, and healthcare to those in need. Swamiji, I would like if you can tell us what inspired you to work for Ganga cleaning project and what are your different future plans for cleaning of Ganga. Swamiji, you
Swamiji,
are
we
not
request you
audible.
to please unmute your mic. Please unmute your mic.
Swamiji, you are not audible.
Now I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garuda Dhwaja Mangalam Pundari Kaksho Mangalayatano Harihi Ho Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Respected Puja Swami Bhaskaranji Maharaj, dear Rahul, dear Indranilji, and all the distinguished speakers. It's so wonderful keeping the Earth Day in the center. You have organized a beautiful webinar on Mother Ganga, Ganga-Mississippi Dialogue. Restore the Ganga and restore the earth. It's true. To me, if Ganga dies, India dies. If Ganga thrives, India thrives. All along the basin of Mother Ganga, almost 500 million people live. To them, Ganga is not only water. To us, Ganga is mother. It's not only molecules of H2O. It's our mother. And to me especially, Gangaji has a very, very special place in my life. I remember when I was very young, I was only 8. When I was introduced to Mother Ganga, after having 1 year of silence at home, I was brought to the jungles on the holy banks of Mother Ganga, in the lap of the beautiful Himalayas. And I can share you my pain. Over the decades, I have seen how things have changed. There used to be so much water in Ma Ganga. And in the last few years, the river has gotten more and more dry every year. It's so sad. Every day it makes me sad. It gives me heartache every day. The United Nations estimates that by 2030, India will have half the drinking water we need. Just imagine. It's such a tragedy we are going to face, our generations are going to face. Hence, the need to act, to me, is now and is very urgent and is very crucial. And it was that intention that we started the Ganga Action Parivar. Because I've seen the divinity, the beauty, the serenity of Mother Ganga. And when people come, almost 150 people come to our ashram. And I've seen how they feel about Ganga. Once they come, it was a river to them. But once they live here on the banks of Ganga and feel the energy and the power of Mother Ganga, I can see the change in their hearts. They love it. They cry. They have tears in their eyes when they are on the banks of Ganga. So it's not like any river. In the evening, I have seen when sun is set, we all get together and sit on the banks of Ganga. I have traveled all over the world, seen many countries being on the banks of the rivers of those nations, being on the shore of the sea also. But never ever I have seen that touch, that transformation, what Ganga ji gives to the people who come on the banks of Ganga. The Kumbh Mela, can you imagine? Kumbh Mela is on. If there's no water in the Ganga, there's no Kumbh Mela. No Haridwar. Can you imagine a bank without a money? Can you imagine Ganga, the rivers without water? No, never. We have seen when there is a Ganga cleanup program just for 1 month in Haridwar by the government. I have seen how people feel sad because there's no water in that area on Har Ki Paidi. I have seen their pain, but I am seeing the future, that if we don't awaken ourselves, Saraswati we have lost, Yamuna is just on the way to be lost, and Ganga ji should not be the same. We should not share the stories to our children in the future. There was a river called Mother Ganga. That will be very sad. That's why we formed a foundation, Ganga Action Parivar, a global family of volunteers working to protect the aviral and nirmal flow, what Swamiji was just explaining, the unobstructed and unpolluted flow of Mother Ganga. Not only Mother Ganga, and her tributaries also. If the tributaries are not clean, are not taken care of, how Mother Ganga can be clean? Mother is divine, Mother is pure, but we have to take care of her waters to keep them clean. The divinity of Mother Ganga will be never lost. It's not like other rivers. That divinity will sustain forever. But the water, we have to be concerned. It's not that we will bring the divinity back. We can only bring the purity is there, the divinity is there, the cleanliness. What we are polluting through Swamiji was explaining so many human interventions. So much is happening. It's so sad to even describe those things. How people can do it to their mothers. So that's why we have planned through the Ganga Action Plan, day and night we are working for so many years to raise awareness on protecting and preserving her waters for the 500 million people who depend on her for their very life and livelihoods. I've seen in the Kumbh Mela in Prayagraj, can you imagine ever, never it happened and never will happen, that in any river in the West, that people in the number of 25 crores, almost 250 million people gathering in one place. And they are not gathered, they are together in the name of peace, in the name of love, in the name of one dubki, that one dip. Can you believe it? They just want one dip. They are not worried about Vyavastha, the management, where they will sleep, where they will go, how many miles they have to walk and walk and walk, because our camp was on the banks of Sangam. I've seen myself, when we are standing in our camps, only we could see the heads. We could not even count the ocean of people. What a faith our Indians and India has. I'm so proud of my people. But this is our prime duty now. अगर गंगा कोई भेद नहीं करती है, वो श्याम लाल के खेत को भी सींचती है और सलीम मोहम्मद के खेत को भी सींचती है. Irrigates the fields of all, whether it's a Simon or Sohan Singh or Salman or Shyam Lal. Doesn't matter. Ganga has no discrimination. And Ganga has no expectation, nothing in return, that you do my arti on the banks of Ganga every day. And Ganga has no vacation. We get tired serving even few years and say, oh, why me all the time? But Ganga has never said, why me? Serving you all the time. Silly people, you are throwing so much trash in me. Why I should flow for you? Never, ever. No complaint, no grumbling, because she's Ganga. That's why we all have to work together. She's not even irrigating our farms only. She's irrigating our hearts also. That's why we have planned, not only today, for so many years in every Kumbh Mela, how we can have our green Kumbh Melas. We are a big processions for awareness. And the Kumbh Mela brought so many leaders together, thinkers, environmentalists together, and the Ganga Parliament, where all can sit together, only think about the Ganga and the rivers of this nation and the entire world. Because we don't think about India only. That's the beauty of Indian culture. We think of all. Survey. The power of togetherness, the power of oneness, the power of inclusiveness is so beautiful. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. May all be happy. May all be healthy. This power of allness, this power of oneness, this power of togetherness must not be forgotten. Sangachadvam, sangvadadvam, sangvo manansi jantam. That's why we have to work together. In the 21st century, Ganga has given us a message. If all the rivers can merge into me, why not you people? Come together and save your rivers, not for my sake, for your children's sake, for your generation's sake. That's what we have to do. Here we are celebrating every day green festivals, green Kumbh, green pilgrimage every day. And this is the way we can practice the mantra of our nature, culture, and future. If we want to save our future, we must preserve our culture, our Sanskriti, our nature, our Prakriti, our future, our Santati. Sanskriti, Prakriti, and Santati. Culture, nature, and future. If we want to save ourselves, save our future, save our children's future, let us be together. And that's what Ganga Action Parivar is doing every day. We are trying to inspire and encourage organizations, institutions, and individuals to work together in a spirit of one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and to educate children and youth on the crucial importance of water conservation, and to promote solutions and technologies that can bring solid and liquid waste management and bring the solution. This is a big challenge today. Then we have brought 6 T's. When I turned 60s in 2012, somebody asked me, what next? Now you have turned 60s. I said, oh, great, 6 T's. Let us bring these 6 T's in my life. Toilets, taps, trees, tracks, trash, tigers. Tiger preservation means natural habitat preservation. And then we founded the Global Interfaith Wash Alliance, the world's first ever interfaith initiative to bring the power of faith to ensuring the water, sanitation, and hygiene is available to all, everywhere, to everyone. And we started with water, sanitation, hygiene. Let me tell you, it became like a 3H program: health, hygiene, and harmony. This brought harmony also. And then we started Open Defecation Free India program in 2013. And in I remember, because I spent so much time in America, I came 41 years ago in 1980 to America. And when I used to come back from America and go in the morning for Ganga Darshan, I used to cry because so many people were going on the banks of Ganga for nature calls. It was so stinking, so smelly. We could not even meditate, but we had to do it because we are sitting in the lap of Mother, ignoring everything. But I said, for how long we can keep ignoring? Why not? We must make a plan. I talked to the people, talked to the ashram people, and made a plan. Talked to the authorities, to the commissioner, and got the approval. And that sanitation ground today became a meditation ground. Today we are performing Aarti live every day. It's so beautiful. Where people were going for poos, and now they are coming for purity. Where there was a sludge all the time, sewage all the time, sewage all the time, now it became a selfie point. People are coming from every nation and taking a selfie as memory of their trip. We must make our India open defecation free India. I am very proud of our Honorable Prime Minister. The moment he came on this, the moment he came on the dais, took the chair, immediately he announced from the Red Fort, let us turn our life from the temples to the toilets. Can you believe it? What a daring statement. Let us turn our life from temples to toilets, from Devalaya se Shauchalaya ki yatra. Not easy. But he made it. Today, almost 90 million toilets, more than 90 million toilets are built in such a short span of time. India made it, India did it. But now it's our duty also to keep this open, defecation-free banks of Mother Ganga. How we can make our sewage point to selfie point. How we can have a decentralized wastewater solutions. All of these things we are working together. Our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, flagship Namami Gange project, and there is a considerable work that has been done. Amazing, commendable job, he has done it. He inspired millions of people in India, and they all are doing it as a one team, one theme, all together. And we can see the change. And we will see the change in just few years, more and more. But now, because time is very short, we must realize that the work which is very important, we must do for what? For water. Water belongs to all. Water provides energy to all. Water is a blessing to all. Water is sacred. Water is a blessing. And water does not discriminate, doesn't hesitate between caste, color, creed, race, religion, region. Water is for everybody. And let me tell you now, water is the new oil. Water is the new gold. Without water, there is no life. There is no survival. Therefore, we must work. We must work to protect, preserve water. Gold you cannot eat. Petrol you cannot drink. You need water to drink. And if we need water to drink, then what we are waiting for? Why we are putting our energies together? We have to promote all that what is needed. We have to bring all the technologies, all the solutions, and innovations that can ensure clean water for all. And we are working day and night with the government, with the people, with environmentalists, with the thinkers, with school students, Matri Shakti, with everyone. One team, working for water, water and water. There are also actions that each one of us can take to be the change we want to see in our rivers. For Mother Ganga, let us do it together. Let us be together. Swamiji, you have given so many beautiful ideas. Only thing is, so much information is there, so much inspiration is there, and so much innovation is there now. It is not a rocket science we are waiting for. And what is needed is implementation. 4 Eyes program. Information, we have to inform people, educate people, inspire people to make them innovative. And last is implementation. For that, we don't have to wait for the government. Government is doing their job. They are doing fantastic. I'm very proud of our government, our Jal Shakti Mantralaya, amazing water Shakti minister, doing great. But it is our duty now that how we can inspire our gatherings, our congregations. Faith leaders have to come together. They have the power. They are the power. We have to feel the power and fill the power in our congregations. If we charge our congregations, our people, our disciples, believe me, there is no dearth of money. Money is there. गंगा के लिए धन नहीं चाहिए, एक धुन चाहिए. एक धुन चाहिए, लगन चाहिए. और जब ये हो जाएगा, बात बन जाएगी. And let us do it together. Ram Krishna Mission is doing great work. You are on the banks of Ganga, Swamiji, in Hubli, in Calcutta. It's so beautiful. You people have done it. You have shown it, the power of service. Our leader, great leader, Swami Vivekananda ji, great inspiration, Ramakrishna Paramahansa has shown the path, how we can serve, how we can dedicate. And now, if you put your team together for Ganga, for water, I can tell you, whole India will come together. Let us be together. Let us work together, have a meeting, and bring the change, be the change, bring the light, and be the light. Thank you. Thank you.
Dhanyavad Swamiji for such an energetic speech and for inspiring us to work for Namami Gange project and to clean and restore Ganga to its primitive stage. Our next speaker is Dr. Supradev Roy. Dr. Supradev Roy is a microbiologist. He worked as Rajiv Gandhi National Fellow and visiting scientist at Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. He did his PhD from Jadavpur University in Life Science and Biotechnology. Presently, he is working on Ayurveda and organic farming. He has also worked on waste management. So I will like to ask Dr. Supradev Roy to enlighten us what can be the thought process and scientific approach to deal with the wastes that has been day and out that has been thrown into the river Ganga. How can we eliminate those wastes and how can we purify Ganga to the most possible way possible? Dr. Supradev. I think there has been some technical issue with Dr. Supradev Roy. I will ask my technical team to connect with him. In the meantime, I will like to move on to our next speaker, who is Sri Rahul Chaudhury. Sri Rahul Chaudhury is basically from Agra, Uttar Pradesh. He has completed his BA, LLB and LLM from Ram Manohar Lohia National Law University, Lucknow, and now pursuing from there his PhD. Sri Chaudhury has been active in student activism since his college times. He has previously served as Think India National Co-Convener and National Media Convener of Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad. He is currently serving as National Secretary of world's largest student organization. Sri Rahul, I will love to ask you to enlighten us how the youth can play a role in cleaning Ganga and what can be the legal aspects, how we can improvise the constitution so that these Namami Gange project can be implemented in more better ways.
Namaste. Firstly, I'm blessed to be among the purest and enlightened souls. Puja Swami Bhaskararanda ji, Puja Swami Saraswati ji, my dear friend Shubhradeep and Gaurav. In India, it has produced brave sons and daughters who have always lived to serve our country, who have always raised up to the challenges that has come up in our national life. So undoubtedly, the youth has always played its part whenever the country, whenever our motherland has called us, and whenever there is a need to bring the change, bring reform in our country. We always had tall leaders who, in their young age, rose up to the occasions and worked to provide concrete solutions to the contemporary issues. Like, I come from a student organization named Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, where a larger goal is to develop leadership for all the sectors of the society We believe that it is only by producing leaders across the disciplines in various arenas we can only work towards the larger goal of national reconstruction. Whatever we have lost in last 1,000 years, 100 years, through different periods what India or Bharat has passed through, we have sustained our civilization, we have sustained through our strong Sanatan Vedic culture and learning lessons and taking inspiration from our holy souls who have always guided us. We are creating leadership for all fields. AVP through its forum named Students for Development, we work on issues of environment, be it waste management, waste to wealth, be it water rejuvenation. Also, in recently, like in 2016 and 17, AVP through its forum SFD, we carried out a larger exercise of cleaning of river Narmada, wherein the AVP moved petition in name of our Student for Development convener, and they were part of the monitoring committee, and the exercise, the voluminous exercise that was carried out by NGT was supported by the AVP Karyakartas, and we were part of the larger process. As far as the cleaning of the Ganga cleaning is concerned, before 2014, it was merely a discussion topic among the Sant Samaj, the society who used to visit Ganga plains. But after declaration of Namami Gange mission, it has pulled eyes of every youth leader. It has pulled attraction of every Indian youth, and it is now the talking point. And everybody who feels connected with Mother India, they want to contribute in cleaning of Ganga. So this is what the larger experience I can speak from my experience after interacting with the youth of across, not only in living in Bharat, but even the students or even the youth who are working outside India, but they have their souls here in India. Ganga cleaning has taken huge stop after declaration of Namami Gange program. I personally went to a SFD event in Soro district near Bulandshahr in Uttar Pradesh. I also went to Varanasi, where the large-scale cleanliness drive was taken out. Even in Haridwar, where Namami Gange projects were being carried out, AVP Karyakartas have ensured our services, our seva in cleaning of Mother Ganga. Wherever we can contribute, we are, be it through waste management, be it through creating awareness among society, be it through channelizing the youth energy and building a larger part of narrative. So this is what AVP is doing by and large through our different activities, how we can strike the balance between ecology, how we can maintain our ecological balance, how our daily activities affect the river, the flow of river, how our discharge of pollutant affect the river. So these are the larger points which AVP is regularly, it's part of our daily activities. We don't take it as a event sort of thing. It is a part of our daily life activity. That's how we are, this is the feeling that we are inculcating in our Karyakartas or in the larger youth. So even the government, they believe it is only through the involvement of youth power this Namami Gange mission can be a huge success, and that's what is visible from the data. In 2017, the nearly 20,000 youths were trained as Swachh Doot. They were deployed in more than 2,300 villages across the bank of River Ganga in 23 or 24 districts, where they worked, they stayed in villages, they created awareness amongst the villagers, they informed them about the ill effects of the discharge of pollutant. They motivated them to go open defecation free, and to how to do the waste management and how to preserve the river from spoiling through our waste disposal. What are the best means and practices of waste management? So these are the things that they undertook. Even and the importance of the role of youth grows larger because in 2019 and 2020, Ministry of Jal Shakti has collaborated with the Nehru Yuva Society, Nehru Yuva Kendra, wherein they are targeting more than 75 lakh youth involvement in Namami Gange. So this is the importance of the power, the potential that we as a youth, for this India, the largest asset of our motherland, and the youth, they are also coming out and contributing. Like Swamiji just mentioned about the Prayagraj Kumbh Mela. Even I was there at Kumbh Mela. So through our forum SFD, we carried out the plastic-free zones, the ill effects plastic causes in the Kumbh area. And what I could see is that the youth, they are coming there on their own. That was the very eye-opening for all, where we could see, like, when people, they go for trekking, they go for other, entertaining activities, but the youth, the number of youth attended the Kumbh Mela, and their presence in the Kumbh Mela and their devotion for the amount of time they are spending, they are walking freely, because Kumbh Mela space is not a very small area. It is spread across more than 30-35 kilometers in Prayagraj. So this is, and they are traveling across the Kumbh Mela premises. So they are the connect that the youth has with this country, with our motherland, with our holy river. Like it doesn't need to be proved. It is apparently visible amongst youth, and given their, the way they are coming out to do, be it Shramdan in any other form, like I said, for plastic free zone, there were more than 5,000 youth which we involved throughout the Kumbh Mela. So youth is here to offer its service for its motherland. The youth is here to ensure that the sons and daughters who are living here in our holy land Bharat, we are ever ready to serve our motherland. Like the major thing, what I feel is how youth can be, like Swamiji has already mentioned, the 6 T's, 4 H and I's, what we have to do. So it's largely, let's coming straight to the implementation part. See, the first point is we need our youth. There needs to be a team and create awareness amongst the ill effects of our daily practices, what we practice in the household, be it household activities or the areas nearby the river, the villages, the cities that surround, the industrial pollution that has gone through. So the youth can create a group of youth club. We can create youth clubs, be it they could be NCC cadet, they could be some voluntary, like there are a lot of RWAs. So the youth from particular societies can collectively take responsibility of their own societies, whereby they diminish the waste management, where they'll use scientific methods for its processing of waste management, where they ensure that the pollutant doesn't go into the river. So this is how at very micro level we can plant. The youth can be involved in the cleaning, be it at their from society level to school level. We can form a group of school going children where they can, through nukkad nataks, we can involve college students through wall paintings or through different means or the creative platforms using social media. Social media, it is highly occupied by the youth, be it through reels, be it through picturizations, be it through videos. These are the latest technologies which should be used by involving youth to promote the awareness about and the need for cleaning Ganga. Secondly, there is the more is about the informing the society about the ill effects, our cultural heritage in larger context, like how we are deteriorating or how long, like how we are affecting ourselves by affecting Ganga. Because if I like a law student, I learned lot of lessons on environmental law, and the environmental law largely developed around the cleaning of trennies, the damage the trennies has done to our holy rivers, to our water bodies. So that's how the larger environmental law litigation evolved in India. Be it the case of the state of Rajasthan in 1984 against municipal corporation, be it the right to clean or drinking water, it's part of Article 21, right to life. So even the Supreme Court of India has interpreted the right to clean and drinking water. It's part of right to life. So this is the importance of our water bodies. They largely contribute in our life, which makes our life meaningful. It makes our life healthy. So these are the aspects how even Supreme Court has realized, and that's how they have interpreted it. So spiritually and culturally, we all know the importance of water bodies and the rivers. We have we have worshipped rivers. So that's the point. That's how things have evolved. And like we are running short of time. So I just like to point 2-3 things. Like since students, they are very outspoken, they are very hardworking. So another internship program can be rolled out, Bhagirathi internship program, where youth can be, invited to give their 100 hours of service for River Ganga. So a curriculum can be designed where youth from different discipline, technical background, they can be used to study or conduct surveys to study the pollutants, the factors which are affecting, to check the flow of discharges from the factories, industries on the river. We can take law students to pursue the legal platforms for against the pollutants. We can use youth from art and culture background to create awareness through nukkad nataks, wall paintings, dramas, and different activities. We can take art students to carry out wall paintings. So these are there are multi-level of activities which we can plan by involving youth from all the disciplines. We can take technological background students for developing technology or for making society technology friendly, to make them understand the use of clean technology, so that we don't discharge waste, we don't pollute, we should make optimum use of resources. So that's how the youth involvement in Namami Gange or Gange cleaning can be planned. So these are the few thoughts that I had in my mind, and since we are running out of time and we have questions to take up, so I would like to end with this, and thank you for having me. Namaste.
Dhanyavad, Rahul ji. The very first question that I will ask, one of our viewers have asked, is just recently you told we can have an internship of few students where they can be asked to collect surveys and everything. The very first question that we have, can we include a lesson or chapter in our current syllabus of environmental education to encourage and inspire our students in the process of restoring Mother Ganga?
So is it to me, Gauravji?
Anyone can answer.
Oh,
Any-
Swamiji.
Swamiji, if you can answer that.
Okay, so I feel there are already a subject named ecology and other aspects which have already been included in the curriculum at secondary school level, I guess. I remember we shouldn't always look up to. I think that we need more teaching, and it should teaching at home, and the teaching should be more in practice. I think there are a lot of literature available about the awareness or the importance of environment and keeping the ecological balance. So that had always been part of curriculum, but that curriculum, it has to be brought out in action. That's what I feel.
Rahulji, one thing you told about ecology subject and everything, but I think the question is more about incorporating restore how to restore Mother Ganga. In ecology, we don't include these things. In ecology, we go for a specific portions.
Yes, no. See, what I said, so it's all part of environmental education and it's the subject under which these things are taught. As far as inspiration part is concerned, see, I think it is by practice or it is by devising mechanism and real life instrument. So as far as the process of restoring, as long as we get into theory, I think we need to get into action. That's what Swamiji said, implementation part. So there's already a lot of literature available how to do it. There are a lot of people who are involved who are already part of the process. So I guess it is by public lectures, by interacting with these people who are involved in the process, this can be easily resolved. And if we take it part of curriculum, then it's a larger process. Then again, we will be relying back on government. That can also be done, but larger part, what I feel is it is by interacting students with the real life change makers, the real life people who are working on rejuvenation of River Ganga. So the more and more interaction with the people who are doing on field and the students, this is what will bridge the gap more. That's my personal opinion.
Swami Bhaskaranandaji, your microphone is on now. Would you like to comment on this?
It's okay. It's okay. There should be awareness. There should be develop an awareness because we have lack of awareness, and for the to develop awareness needs some activity, needs some needs some concrete concrete plan. Also, I suggest that some sorts of there must have chapter in our education so that the children will know about the Ganga, also its preservation. So it's better to include in all curriculums.
Right, sir. Garuji, we also have one more question from our
Yeah,
audience.
we have three more questions. Swamiji, the question is that how can we get people to have clean habits and not pollute our rivers and water bodies?
I'm not able to hear your questions.
How can we
Are you
get?
asking to?
Yeah, am I audible? Yeah, I
Yes,
must.
I'm not.
How can we get people to have clean habits and not pollute our river and water bodies?
There should be constant effort. There should be constant effort to make awareness, because Ganga is since Ganga provides, all nature provides so many things for us, so we have to do something for them, and we are not doing this. We are receiving from receiving all kinds of amenities, all kinds of means support
Yeah.
from nature, but we have to give. Now it's time to provide some activities, some caring activities, so that nature can be restored, nature can be maintained. So it's our part. It's now our part. It should be implemented. Pujyapat Maharaj also said that implementation is very much required at this moment. We have talked a lot about this. Now it's time to implement.
Hello.
Gauravji, your mic was mute. Yes.
Yes, the next question is to Rahul ji. Though there is a penalty on throwing plastics in river, people are still doing that. Why are the local governments not taking any action? And what should be, is there a need for any amendment in the law, or a more strict penalties are needed? Being a law student, what are your thoughts on this?
Like even the penalties have already been in place, and like, there is a principle called polluter pay principle in environmental law. The one who pollute should pay for the amount of shall pay for the restoration amount and for the harm that he has done. So that has already been part of law since early 1980s, and that's how the larger environmental law jurisprudence has developed. So definitely they are already, what we need is like we need a vigilant citizen who can, by penalizing, just by penalizing, we cannot bring change. It is only by changing our habits, changing, like, until and unless the community come together against the polluter, they should, make him change his actions. That's what the larger parties need. The government and the implementing agencies are also in place who can keep check on such polluters. Even in some cases in local government, like there's a word about local government not taking action. Sometimes these local governance, these municipal corporations, they themselves are fined for inactions by Supreme Court or by NGT. So the problem is not of penal actions or the penal provisions that are available, but I feel the change must be brought in action. They are already harsher punishment which has been imposed on not only on individuals but on government organizations also. So there are already enough provisions in law. But penalization has never been a solution. Rather than reforming or talking to the person who is polluting or complaining, bringing it in light is what is required. There are already enough laws to tackle all those who pollute the environment. There are already the Water Act, the Air Act, Environment Protection Act 1986. There are many laws which govern these actions.
Swamiji, there is one question about the source of the river Ganges. While a lot has been done, as in sense of preserving the cleanliness of the river, what are we doing to preserve the very source of Ganges River? That is the question that has been posed by one of the viewers here. Swamiji, would you like to take that question? Swami Bhaskarananda?
Please repeat the question.
One of our viewers is saying that while we are discussing a lot about pollution of river Ganges, are we also thinking about the very source of the river Ganges? What are we doing to preserve the source of river Ganga? Rahulji, would you like to take this? Okay. Swami Bhaskarananda ji, did you get the question? Could you hear me?
So actually, I want to know source of how to. You want to say that we. So I don't actually understand. You are telling about source. I think so. Is
Sir,
it?
yes, sir.
I'm not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So main thing is that we require awareness, as well as already Rahulji explained that there are a lot of acts already in our country, and so acts is necessary, and rules are necessary. But thing is that we have to feel that rules and regulation, to some extent it works. Many things to that we have to feel that that without the nature, without the surroundings, environment will not survive. So if we do something, there is a statement, the statement from Swami Vivekananda, who said in his Hindi, Grahita and Data. Data and Grahita should be minimized. We are receiving, and Data is, say, nature is Data. Nature is providing resource, but we are now receiving. So we have to give something. The distance between Data and Grahita should minimize. Data and Grahita should minimize. In the country, in the society, we are all people are receiving. So to some extent, it's okay, but it's not fair to receive all throughout the life. We have to give something. We have to pay something. We are in the credit. So you have to, unless we don't pay, nature will not spare us. So see the present situation. Corona is developed again. Why? Because it's a lesson for it's a lesson. If we don't take lesson, why nature's so rude? Because it's a lesson. Still, we are not receiving the lesson. We are not ready to accept the lesson. That's why problem arises. So it's time to implement. It's time to feel for the nature. Nature is our mother. So if I not if I don't if we not feel for the mothers, so it will be dangerous for us, because our origin is mother nature. We are coming from nature provides me whole body, whole everything is comes from nature. So we have to think, we have to rethink, and also pay something. It's time to pay something.
As we are moving to our end, I would like to have the concluding remark from Sri Rahul Chaudhary ji. What is your concluding remark on the topic that restore Ganga and restore our earth?
No, this is the first dialogue that I am participating, wherein we are discussing the Ganga Mississippi dialogue. So it's one of its kind, a global platform where we can reach out to the larger audience who are who really want to give their time, give their shram for the Ganga Clean Mission. So I think we need more and more such dialogues wherein we can run some competition sometimes, so that we take this a step ahead. Instead of a dialogue, let's convert it into a action plan where we can create, like, since it was like my talk was focused largely on the role of youth, and Swamiji, both the Swamijis already enlightened through the Vedic practices the importance that the river Ganga holds for 1/6 of the population of this world. So let's get straight into the actions. Let's draw out a plan. We can phase-wise manner how we can reach out to more youth. We can call for their ideas, be it through call for ideas papers, be it through online demonstration of ideas. So let's create a buzz, a global buzz for Ganga Clean, Namami Gange mission or Ganga Clean Abhiyan. So I feel we need more and more involvement, larger involvement of youth under the auspicious guidance of holy soul that we have amongst us, all those who have lived their life, who have really lived the essence of river Ganga, like Swamiji. So only through their blessings, under their margadarshan.
Rahulji, just conclude. We don't have much.
I'm on verge of it. So it's by channelizing the energy of youth under the guidance of our seniors, we can call for ideas through other social media activities we can carry out, and that's how we can move in towards acting on the words like restore Ganga and restore our earth.
Swamiji, just can you give a concluding speech within 10 to 15 seconds?
it's better to, I think, Pujabat Maharajji, Pujabat Maharajji, does a concluding speech is better. I think he has well-versed knowledge about this project. He has
I
done a
think
lot in this project.
he has some technical issues, so he is not with us. Just within 10-15 seconds.
So the one word is implementation. It's we have talked about this, and there are a lot of problems in this nature. We have talked so much, but it's time for implementation. So now we sort out some. We have to enlist some. We have to enlist some rules and regulations, as well as we need to aware people, make awareness to the common masses, so that people can come together and come forward and also do something for the nature. And definitely in the future it will change. If our constant efforts is there will be change, definitely change.
Dhanyavad to all the viewers. We don't have the time, and there was a technical issue with Dr. Supradev Roy, so we could not hear the what may be the scientific approach. But being a waste management student, I can assure you that there is a very good improvement in waste management programs. So I will like to conclude today's program by saying that just by restoring not only river Ganga, but all the rivers, only earth can be saved. All the problems, that is global warming, deforestation, and several calamities that we are having, drought, flooding, everything, these can be stopped only by restoring the natural resources that we have. Dhanyavad everyone.